Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to spend some time with me. Guys, today we have one of those meaty, information-packed videos that's definitely going to help you catch some good fish. It's one of my favorite techniques to catch fish in the pre-spawn time of the year. We're going to be talking about spinnerbait fishing, and specifically big spinnerbait fishing. The spinnerbaits we're going to be talking about are 3/4 ounce and 1 ounce. These are my pre-spawn spinnerbaits, and I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how I like to set them up, and the type of areas that I like to fish them in, and the equipment I throw them on. And I'll just say right off the bat, guys, I've caught more 7-pound fish. All of the bass I've caught in my life, when you talk about the different sizes, I've caught more 7-pound bass on a big spinnerbait in the pre-spawn than any other time of year with any other technique by far. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the ways that I've caught some good fish on them, and definitely think it's going to help you guys out as well. And also, guys, I'll put my a couple of my spinnerbait links in the description of my video here, in the Tackle Warehouse link, some specialty spinnerbaits. If you guys would like to use that link to get you some spinnerbaits set up, you can use them, and appreciate that. And also, guys, been hearing me talk about the live stream that I'm starting, the private live stream. We're going to have our first live stream a week from this Thursday, if you guys would like to join in. And we're also going to start doing them like I think we're going to start doing them at 6:30 every Thursday, so you can tune in from now on. And this live stream, guys, is open to it's a private live stream for Intuitive Angling, Advanced Bass Fishing, and the Fishing Teacher, my 3 YouTube channels. The channel members, if you're a channel member, you're eligible, or if you join the Patreon program, you can join the live stream with us. It's going to be a really fun time, guys. We're going to interact in it. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff we can't talk on the other channel. So if you're interested, just go to the description of my video, sign up for the Patreon program, or sign up to be a channel member by hitting the join button on my YouTube homepage. So hope to see you guys there. Okay, we're getting into the time of year. We're still about a month away. I look forward to this every year, slow rolling a big spinnerbait. It's such a good way to catch big fish. And I'm going to say that the average size bass I catch with the technique I'm going to talk about today is probably pushing 4 pounds. I mean, when you get bit on the way that I'm going to talk about here, you're going to average 4 pounds per fish. I mean, it is a quality fish technique that it's reproducible, is what I'm saying, because a lot of other lure categories, like your big swim baits and your big glide baits, they produce big fish too, but they are super inconsistent, and you can't rely on them. I mean, you know how they are with those baits. They look at them and turn away, but when they get a spinnerbait, they'll eat it. If you get a bite on a spinnerbait, it's coming in the boat most of the time. So I think it's the #1 way to catch big fish overall throughout the course of the year. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you the spinnerbait setups that I like. There's 2 different ones, and I'll talk a little bit about how I fish it, where I'm going to fish it at. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is, and this is probably my favorite, this is a big 3/4 ounce model with the number 7 willow leaf blade on it. And usually I've got like a number 3 or 4 Colorado in front of it. I like the Colorado on the big spinnerbait versus having 2 willow leaves. I just like the way it feels in the water and looks. And I want to create a big profile. So I've got the Zoom Z-Swim swim bait behind it, full-size skirt, 3/4 ounce head. I probably use the 3/4 ounce about 75% of the time, and the 1 ounce probably 25% of the time. The only time that I use a 1 ounce is if it's really windy, or if I'm fishing around some deep grass or something. But I like the way the 3/4 ounce feels. You can slow roll it in shallower water, and this is my #1 setup. Now, sometimes I will go to the number 8 blade. This is the big Mongo number 8 on the willow leaf. If I'm really getting some big bites, the 8's going to get you definitely some quality bites. And also, guys, I will link some of these spinnerbaits that I'm going to link in my Tackle Warehouse description. You can't get them in a blade this big, so I'll also link the Hildebrandt blade link in the description, so you can get replacement blades through that link if you guys would like to go to the number 8. But this is probably my favorite setup overall, like this big. And sometimes I'll use a different trailer. Sometimes I'll use a worm trailer. But in the pre-spawn, I always want to use a trailer, and I always want to make the bait big, large profile, because #1, I'm after big fish, and #2, during the month of like February and March, the threadfin shad and their gizzard shad, they're at their biggest size. They haven't spawned in a long time, probably not going to spawn until May. So you've got a lot of big shad that the fish want to get on, and plus they're they're trying to get their energy reserves up for their riggers to spawn in, so they want a big meal. So that's my first one. Now, the time that I use this, there's two different ones I use, and it's based upon the depth and the water clarity. If I'm fishing water visibility of anything over about probably, I'm gonna guess 1.5 or 2 foot in clarity, I'm gonna be using the big willow leaf here. Ideal situation for this, I want about, probably 2 to 3 foot of visibility. It depends on the light condition, we'll talk in a little bit, but 2 to 3 foot visibility with this one. Okay, the other one, guys, is a big single spin, a big Colorado single spin. This is a number 7 Hildebrandt blade here. You can use a number 7 or number 8, full size skirt, and a lot of times I like the long zoom trick worm on it. This makes the bait, 7 inches long or so. Big spinner bait, big thumping single spin. And this is going to be my off-colored water choice when those fish are really shallow. So if I'm fishing a body of water that has like less than 1.5 feet of visibility, which 12 to 15 inches of visibility is good spinnerbait water, I want this big single spin Colorado. It just thumps in the water like that. It really displaces a lot of water. It'll attract fish in that dirtier water, especially if it's colder. You can reel it slow. I've also got it on the 3/4 ounce head, but I like that big profile like that with it. I don't use a trailer hook a lot of times on either one of these. One of the things I found, since these are both a slow rolling situation, is when they get it, they eat it. And a trailer hook, to me, it's like, when I put a trailer hook on, my strikes go down. It's like, say for example, if I'm practicing and if I get 10 bites on a spinnerbait like this without a trailer hook, if I go to the trailer hook in the tournament, my bites will go down to 6 or 7. It's like you'll definitely notice fewer bites with a trailer hook. So a lot of times I do not use a trailer hook, with the big spinnerbaits like that. Okay, now colors just depend. I use a wide variety. I like some type of a shad pattern. I'm not real picky on colors. Usually it's something pearl or white and chartreuse, or maybe solid white. But this is probably my favorite setup, some type of a pearl skirt with a little bit of shad, white chartreuse type of a look with the white trailer. I do like the white trailer for the most part on there with the white and chartreuse type skirt. So that's the setup. Okay, now next, this requires a specific set of gear to throw it on. Both of these spinnerbaits, I throw them on my flipping stick, my Megabass Alkalies flipping stick. The reason I use a flipping stick is, number one, this is a big bait. There's a lot of mass to this. So if you get a 7 or 8 pound bass that comes up and grabs that whole thing like that, you got to have some power to move that bait in the fish's mouth. So if you got a big 8 pounder clamping on that spinnerbait, if you don't have a flipping stick, a lot of times you won't get a hook into it. So with the 3/4 ounce model, I'm using the flipping stick, 25 pound test Seaguar VizX line. That's my setup with it. I can get a good hook set in it. I can cast it a long way. I can pitch it and flip it around tight areas. If you haven't thrown a big spinnerbait on a flipping stick, try it. You guys will really like it. Okay, now probably the most important thing is where you want to throw this at. And it depends on the lake that you fish. Slow rolling a big spinnerbait in the pre-spawn is excellent if you have submergent vegetation. So all you guys, I know there's not a lot of you guys that do, but if you have a lake that has submergent hydrilla or milfoil, slow rolling a big spinnerbait is deadly for big fish. That's a given. Just slow roll it. You try to hit keep it in contact with the top of the grass. Try to concentrate on those main lake flats next to a creek channel or a main river channel close to deep water. Really good way to catch them. And also that'll work even up into the post spawn. But the way that I want to talk about primarily what most guys fish is fishing it just in a regular rock and wood man-made impoundment. Now, this is all about the pre-spawn channel banks, in my opinion. I want a steeper rocky bank where I can throw that spinnerbait up there and slow rolling it down the drop. So I'm looking for some type of a bluff bank, some type of a channel swing, some type of a steeper point, some type of a steeper bank. Not to say that you can't catch them shallow, because if you're in a lake that has flatter cover, say for example, if you got a lake that's got some flatter banks with boat docks on it, sometimes they'll get on that. But what I really look for are those pre-spawn staging areas for the big fish. So favorite way to do it is I'll go back, I'll pick a couple creek arms out, I'll go back into those creek arms and I'll get on the steepest bank in those creek arms, and I'll just make a 45-degree angle cast to the bank. I'll throw it out there. I let the spinnerbait hit the bottom. Even if I throw it in 3, 4, 5 foot of water, I let it hit the bottom, snap it off the bottom like that, and just slow roll it. And I want the bait to be close to the bottom. So I'll crank it 4 or 5 times like that. And as you crank it, once it hits the bottom and you pull it up like that, when you crank it, it's gonna want to start coming up because these big blades lift the bait. So occasionally after about 4 or 5 cranks of the reel, I kill it and let it go back down to the bottom. So I'm just going like this, up, down, trying to keep it close to the bottom, you know, let it follow down that slope of that 45 or 60 degree angle bank. But you can't go wrong with the channel bait, guys. Like I said, bluffs, steep banks, anything like that, even if it's a gravel or a clay bank, if it's got a big drop to it, that's gonna be a really good area for them. So anyway, guys, that's my, just a quick pre-spawn spinnerbait primer. It's a way to catch some big fish, man. If you haven't done it, get set up with it. I'll put all the links you need in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video, and hope it helps you guys catch some good ones. See you later.